season. This debuted last October and it was a huge seller. We had a few of them left. And so what we've done is we've reduced the price for you today for Christmas in July by 40%. There are no more of these coming in. And here's why you may want to consider picking one of these trees up. This is the first time that Bethlehem Lights did their very popular Noble Spruce or any of their faux Christmas trees with incandescent lights that can do all sorts of features like LED lights can do. And normally the reason most of the Christmas trees you find out there now have LED lights is because they can make them change colors and chase each other around and all kinds of stuff like that. So typically when you have incandescent lights, they are one color and they stay that color all the time and they can't do any tricky features. So what Bethlehem Lights did with this tree is they've added lots of features to incandescent bulbs. Why is that a big deal? Because a lot of people like incandescent bulbs because they give you that old-fashioned feel of a Christmas tree from long ago. And often that's what Christmas is all about, feeling those old-fashioned memories. So you get the best of both worlds with this tree. Now I will tell you they're all limited and we have already sold out of the 9-foot tree. So we have your choice of either clear or multicolored bulbs. These two guys in the front are the 5-foot trees. Then we also have on either side of me the 6.5-foot tree, and then behind me is the 7.5-foot tree. 5-foot is the most limited, and not only do you get 6 easy pays with these, starting at payments of $29.83 for the 5-foot tree, but you're also getting reduced shipping and handling, which is going to save you about $10. So it's all good. And let me bring in my friend Chad Johnston, who is our Bethlehem Lights expert. Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
Big hugs. Nice to see you, sweetie.
Nice to see you.
Merry Christmas in July again.
You too.
So a lot of these trees are already gone. So I know we're pretty limited in the 5-foot, which can actually go on top of a table as well.
We have one here in the set we'll show later.
So these have all the features everybody loves. Even before we talked about the incandescent lights with features, you put it together with one plug.
Yes.
The power's in the pole.
Correct.
The lights don't, if one burns out or falls out, if that would even happen, the rest of them stay on.
The rest stay lit.
All of that stuff.
This is the best of the best. So we really thought of everything. Bethlehem Lights, as you know, has been in the commercial lighting industry, selling Christmas trees for over 2 decades.
Right.
It starts with the beauty of the tree, the realism of the foliage, and then the lights. And for the first time ever, we've taken our most beautiful profile tree. This is the Noble Spruce. This is like our go-to tree.
And that's the one in real trees that is popular at Christmas tree lots too.
It really is. And as you could see here, there's different color tones throughout the tree. That's what makes it look so realistic.
Yeah.
And then you've got a high percentage of molded tips on the outside that don't crush. But for the first time ever, Carolyn, and you did a great job positioning this, we are able to take traditional, authentic incandescent lights, the same lights we had when we were kids, but now add modern day technology to it. So first of all, I'm going to go through the dimming feature. You're watching a movie, you want to keep the tree on, you don't want the glare, and you can dim it.
Wow.
Next thing we have is twinkle.
Pretty.
Never before could we do twinkle with incandescent lighting. We have a slow twinkle. So if you want to slow it down a little bit, you can. Here's my favorite. This is all with a push.
Oh, the glisten is so pretty.
This is all with a push of a button. Then we have a slow glisten. So slow it down just a little bit more.
Beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
So here comes the slow glisten. I don't think we got to see the glisten. Maybe it's different than the twinkle. It just kind of fades in and out. So there's that slow glisten. Isn't that pretty? And
the lights go down, but there's not one light that goes completely out.
Yeah.
Back to steady. But then here's the best part. We also give you a 4, 6, or an 8-hour timer built into the tree, so you no more foot pedals.
Right.
Set it once, set it and forget it. Some people want to keep their trees on year-round.
Right.
Put it down on the dim setting if you want, and you can save. The other thing is, and I forgot real quick, the other thing, it's also super energy efficient.
Great.
The one knock on incandescent lights was, well, my power bill is going to be too high. Bethlehem Lights has even figured out how to reduce the energy on this.
Aren't these beautiful? And again, you get that warm feel of old-fashioned incandescent lighting because it is an incandescent lighting with lots of modern features. There's the glisten. Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't that awesome?
And I don't even know very many, if any, LED trees that have timers. That's a pretty cool feature.
And a lot of the other features on the other trees, they don't have the glisten. Sometimes it's a little bit more phasing, less than a glisten. And again, because a traditional incandescent bulb, it's real electricity, so it's like a real fiery glow. The other thing, it's 360-degree symmetrical lighting, so it allows you to illuminate your ornaments. It illuminates the branches. It's just a nice warm feel.
Let's step over here. I think this might be the easiest. I just want you to see the multicolor, how beautiful these colors are.
Is that awesome?
These are old-fashioned colors that you remember if you're my age from when you were a kid in the 60s or maybe a kid in the 70s or even the 80s before LED lighting came along, which was more of a cool color palette. These are warm colors, old-fashioned red, green, yellow, and blue that you remember from days past. So you're absolutely going to love this tree for the nostalgia effect. But then as Chad works that remote, you can see that it does all these different features. It does the twinkle, it does the glisten, it does the timer mode if you want it to, or certainly that steady on. So all you need to do is tell us, do you want multicolor or do you want the clear, and what size do you want? Right now, the 7.5 foot is the most popular. The 5.5 foot is the most limited. So take a look at our price breakdown, and we're going to go over here and put one of these together for you real quick. So it's 6 easy payments, as I mentioned, but at retail, you'd spend over $400 for this tree in a 5-foot size. Our price is $179, or 6 payments of less than $30. It's 6 payments of $41.50 for the 6.5, or $44.83 for the big 7.5 foot tree. As I said, we did have a 9 foot. It's already sold out. This tree has been very popular. Over 24,000 of them have been ordered.
Wow.
So the thing is, if it was pretty and all that stuff, that's great. But if it was a pain in the neck to put it together and take it apart,
then that would be a different
nobody
story.
would want it.
That's
because
exactly right.
That's the other thing that about the new trees is you've got the old-fashioned look of the lights, but not the old-fashioned pain of putting them together.
And that's the beauty of Bethlehem lights, because we have incandescent lights, but we still have the ease to put it together. I'll hand you the remote.
Okay.
It comes with a stand, and when we measure the sizes, it's from the floor to the top of the tree.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'm actually going to set up a 7.5 foot tree just to show, this is the biggest tree, how easy even a 7.5 foot is.
Okay.
So you can actually turn it on if you want to, Carolyn.
There we go. Now it's
And
on.
There's little eye bolts down here at the bottom of the tree. All I'm going to do is tighten them up.
Give them a twist.
Yep, give them a twist. They're done.
Okay.
And then you can just pull the branches down, put them in place. They almost like sort of just like lock into place.
Yeah, they kind of fluff themselves. And again, all that power is in the pole. So there's one plug going into the wall.
And because this is incandescent lighting, again, not LEDs, there is a little arrow. All you do is line up the arrow, you put it down, and ta-da, 3 pieces. Each section is very manageable. I would say for a 6.5 foot tree, my mom can put it together.
Yeah.
Herself, 7.5, maybe.
And there's
2
only
people.
2 pieces to the 5 foot tree.
That's correct.
The other 2 have 3 pieces. So pop it in, give it a twist, give it a little fluff, and you're done. You don't see the wires. You see different types of tips. So it's very realistic looking, and it's a nice full tree with sturdy branches that can hold even the largest ornaments.
I'm standing behind it just because when you go into the big box stores at Christmas time, they show the trees on display. You go up and look through them, and you can see through them. Bethlehem Lights has so much foliage. There's so many branch tips. In fact, on this 7.5 foot tree, not only are there 585 lights, Carolyn,
wow,
there's 3,000 branch tips.
Wow.
And 60% of the 3,000 are the high expensive molded tips with the different colors on the end. So it's not going to crush. It's going to look great year after year.
You're also not going to lose this remote because it's attached to the tree.
On purpose.
And that's on purpose. And again, you don't need a foot pedal because you've got the remote here. So you can easily set that timer. Again, when we come back, I'm just going to stand by this tree for a second, and I want to show you this remote, which is really super good and upgraded. So I've actually got it on the fast glisten mode right now. But if you take a look at this, here's your on and off switch. So as soon as you plug it in, turn this on, and then you'll see when you put the pieces together, they'll already be lit up. When you press the little snowflake, that's going to change whether it glistens or twinkles or stays on steady. And then look here, you've got a 4-hour, an 6-hour, and an 8-hour timer. So you can put it on whichever one you want at whatever time you want it to turn on.
Another thing is, if you put it on glisten, it will come on the following night,
on
same
glisten.
time, on glisten.
Isn't that cool? So again, this tree's great. So let's go back over and show you your choices.
Okay.
This is one that debuted for last Christmas season of 2016. ton of our quantity was sold. We were able to get a few more of them for you for this year. The 5-foot is now getting limited. Chad, are there any more of this tree coming in this year?
Never.
Okay, so
No.
never, not even next year.
So when we come up with a collection like this, we make it once and then we move on. This is the end of it.
And there are plenty of other Bethlehem Lights trees that have already sold out last year that are not back this year at all. So, you know, again, this is the tree that has the incandescent lighting that has all the features. So the 5-foot's getting limited. You can choose 5-foot now in either clear or that very nostalgic looking multi. I love those colors. And even the clear, it's not a white. It's a beautiful candle color, candlelight color.
Again, Bethlehem Lights started in the commercial lighting industry. That's what they're known for. So their lights are all commercial industry lighting.
How tall are you?
I am about 6'4".
Okay, so this tree is about as tall as you.
Exactly.
So this is our 6.5-foot tree. You can see Chad standing next to it. His head comes to the point of the, and the other thing is there's actually a point at the top. So if you want to put an angel or a star up there,
topper,
it pops right on.
This is a very popular size tree for people who maybe want a second tree, maybe they're downsizing. I will tell you on this 6.5-foot tree, Carolyn, the heaviest section, which is the middle section, is only 14 pounds. It's important because people like my parents who had big trees when we were little, they still want a beautiful, full, lush Christmas tree. But my mom wants to be able to put it up herself.
And without all the hassle. My parents have downsized too, and they have a cute little ranch house now in North Carolina, and the 6.5-foot tree is a perfect size for them, and they don't have to push their furniture out of the way or move the piano or anything. It can go right in the window without having a big hassle, and it's easy to put together. And the other thing is, it's easy to take it apart and put it away.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, it's kind of fun to put it together because you're anticipating the holidays.
And then you decorate.
It's kind of a drag to put everything away and, you know, put everything back in the basement or whatever. So it's not a hassle to put this tree away.
The old trees, I would keep them I would try to keep them like this and then put them in a basement. They take up space. Not anymore. They just twist apart. They easy come down and then easily put back up together.
Here's the 7.5-foot again behind us. So this is the largest one that remains. It's also the most popular in this show. So I'm sorry, Frank, my earpiece fell out of my ear. Were you talking to me? Sorry about that. I don't know where it went. So here is the multicolor and here's the clear. And this also only has 3 pieces.
Correct. And this is our most popular selling size tree, Carolyn. Most people have 8-foot or 9-foot ceilings. This is 7.5-foot to the top of the tip, so you could still put a topper on there and fit in an 8-foot ceiling. But the other thing is, at the bottom, it's only 49 inches in diameter, just over 4 feet. So again, you don't have to like move all the furniture around, but it's still full and lush.
So it's like a mid-range size tree. It's not skinny. It's also not a big chubby tree. So here's our price breakdown again. This is very popular. If you want the 5-foot tree, please don't dilly-dally. That's also a great one for your foyer or for the top of a table if you wanted to do something like more vertical decorating. Thank you, Chad.
Thanks, Carolyn.
So 6 easy payments, guys, starting at just less than $1 a day. Even for the 7.5-foot tree, it's still under $45 a payment. Instead of that retail value on a great tree like this from Bethlehem Lights, remember, no reorder on this tree. So we're going to take a look at some holiday tips from Jim Shore. Take a look. We'll be back with more of Sundays with Carolyn and Dan.
Hi, I'm Abby Sobachan. I am in the Home Decor and Collectibles Buying Office. So we are super excited for Jim Shore this CIJ season. We have a ton of exclusive and first-to-market items. All of his figurines are very much traditional and festive for the holidays. We have some really fun pieces for his 15th anniversary of the Heartwood Creek line. We have the 2017 exclusive ornament, and we also have some really fun oversized pieces. So I would stay tuned and watch out for Jim Shore all through the month of CIJ.
Welcome back to a 4-hour edition of Sunday Mornings with Carolyn and Dan.